Hello, this is Sam Waller, and this is going to be my review about what is good and bad about Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the 3D animation TV series by George Lucas. Uh, I'm going to start on a negative, for I did start in the other video, didn't really mean to, got a bit carried away and wasted some time. My real problem with the Tim Curry's Palpatine is how he doesn't sound anything like Palpatine, and he's too creepy and seductive when he's meant to be evil, manipulative, and cunning, while being casual. And I'm not saying Tim Curry is a bad actor. He's a fantastic actor when he's given the right role. He was horribly miscast as Palpatine and Sidious. But the reason why is because Ian Michael Crombie died. Um, and his last ever recorded voice episode was in The Lawless, the episode where Duchess Satine dies, Darth Maul and Savage Press have a massive lightsaber duel with Darth Sidious. That was his final episode he did. Actually, wait, no, that's not true. Actually, yeah, it is, because it says for the memory of Ian Michael Crombie. So yeah, it was his final episode. Yeah, so yeah, it was a tragedy. It was really upsetting to me to see him die. Um, Not die, characterization gone. And now, because of they had to find a new Palpatine for the final series of the Clone Wars and the episodes that Ian Montgomery couldn't do. So they found Tim Curry, who's a brilliant actor, always plays villains. He's a really, really good actor, but he's horrible as Palpatine. Palpatine is the puppet master. He is casual and calm, not over the top with, he's not over the top. Well, apart from Revenge of the Sith, that is. But the way he does it is he's this creepy, cunning, manipulative creep from this really casual Palpatine. Very, apart from this very casual Palpatine, is a very creepy, croaky voice one instead. He's a bearable Sidious. He does the creepy, evil, scary sorcerer that he's meant to be, instead of this completely egotistical moron who makes stupid mistakes out of his own greed, pride, and overwhelming arrogance. The Empire should have fallen because Palpatine was overreaching, not his ego. Anyways, so yeah, that's it really. He's a bearable Sidious. He's a pretty good Sidious. I'll give him that. It's a hard job falling into a role that is creepy. Well, role being this casual, cunning, power-hungry senator or chancellor, then turning into this evil monster Sith Lord who is pulling every string at every turn to get something that he wants. That's my nitpick about Tim Curry's Palpatine. He's a good actor. I respect him. Very difficult role to play. Just terrible. You should. I would love to be Palpatine. My reading sucks, but give me the role. No, really don't. I'm an alright actor. I'm not brilliant, but I have my moments, and I know when to shine. Anyway, that was my bad nitpick. This is my good nitpick. I love it how Star Wars: The Clone Wars takes characters from the prequels and gives them more characteristics from the expanded universe and from the prequel movies. For instance, Obi-Wan Kenobi was this one-dimensional monk with no emotions or feelings, and he wasn't even attracted to a girl. He was this one-dimensional being. Well, hard work for James to technically be kind of better than Ewan McGregor. I've got to say that James Arnold Taylor did a fantastic job with this guy, and he gave Obi-Wan more of a soul than he ever had with Ewan McGregor. And I got my Dave Filoni and George Lucas' choice of choosing James to be the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've got two thumbs up for you guys. You picked the right choice. And they explain a little bit more about the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan, what was never truly explained in the prequels. Because all I thought was Obi-Wan was being annoyed with his brats, and Anakin was just whining and whinging about Obi-Wan because, hell, why not? And it gives them more of a soul. It gives them soul. And that's really interesting to me because now I see Revenge of the Sith, and I go, oh, when Anakin gets burnt to a crisp, and when Obi-Wan says goodbye, old friend, and he goes to Utapar to track down and then fight General Grievous. That scene is sad. That's the scene when the last time they were friends, and the next time they meet, they're enemies. That's sad. But before that scene, before Clone Wars, I saw that I was like, they're not really friends. Why do I care? The lightsaber duel does have a little bit more of emotional pull, but it didn't really need to go on for 16 minutes. That's just my saying, but hell, lightsabers, bam! But anyway, and another thing, Ventress. People hate the retcon. I do. I didn't like that retcon. Originally, she was a Ragataki from Ragatak, not a Dathomir witch from Dathomir. They just retconned her because new toys. And I didn't like that. But they gave her more of a personality and soul than the expanded universe. She's just this. Her personality was a bit blunt. Now we understand why she is an evil witch who kills people. And they gave her a soul. And the tragedy is we're not really going to see much more of the character because Clone Wars is ended, unless she's in Rebels, and I missed that memo. Yeah. Padme. Catherine Tabor does a little bit more of a better job than Natalie Portman. Padme's still boring, but some of her scenes in the Senate are interesting, but not to the point of absolute brilliance. Yeah. No, not really, no. They're good, they're interesting, but the love relationship, this is going to the Clover's arc, there's a little bit of a asshole nitpick. I didn't like the Clover's arc at all. It just shows you the real truth of Anakin and Padme's relationship. And Jem Sarai and another ranter of Star Wars describe this. It's like Bella and Edward in Twilight. She views Anakin as the best guy he can ever be, and Anakin views her as food. Yeah, and that's how it is. It's just, Anakin's like, you're mine and you belong to me, where she has to rely on an absolute moral code, and that ultimately leads to her downfall. Her naivety and blindness and hot-headedness led her to her demise at the hand of her own lover. Yeah. And Ahsoka Tano, the movie didn't really... bit too kiddie, annoying, and just... why? Yay, we need to get women in Star Wars. But, George, you already got Princess Leia and Padme Amidala. Women, we don't really need... fuck it. Yeah. And the reason why Ahsoka didn't really work is because it's a retcon, going back and changing things. And when I saw Clone Wars movie, when I heard Anakin Skywalker, I had a bunch of, I was like, what? How? No, it's a bit late to backtrack to the past two films. A bit too late, but George needs money, so yeah. She actually excellent as she does it. She's a good actress. I'll give her that. Voice actress. She's a one-trick pony. Well, yeah, she's new to it, understandable. But the way she entered Ahsoka Tano was just too green and head-on. A bit, that kind of a person who's very upfront. Kind of hello. She was a bit like that and annoying. She's a 14-year-old girl and she talks like she has a wisp. R2-wee, Sky Guy. It's a bit annoying. And through the movie, she just downgraded the movie a lot. Just, why? Well, not as much as Zero the Hutt and Stinky. I just think, why were they in this movie? Help me. Clone Wars just gave me a brain tumor. How bad it was. And Yeah, that's a nitpick for another time. But through the series, Ahsoka Tano grew in characterization. Ashley Eckstein, from the ashes of destruction, worked the way up to solid gold bar. Ahsoka Tano was risen up. She was getting better and better and learning and making decisions and consequences. The irony is that we won't get to see much about her because Clone Wars is over. There's new novels, yeah. Yay. Novels. Yippee! But the irony is, Ahsoka Tano was brought up so high that now we're not going to see much of her. Unless she's going to be in the future series of Rebels. And that would kind of make sense that you have to end these characters off in another way. Maul's going off in a novelization. Ventress, we don't know. Rex, we don't know. He's not in Revenge of the Sith. Ahsoka, and that's I'm doing my own novelization about that. I'll discuss that in another video. And the ultimately irony of this is she was brought up so high, then to get the notice that she was only in one episode of Series 6, and that was it, and that wasn't really much of Ahsoka, it was just kind of a vision of Ahsoka's future impending death, but what would have happened if she stayed in the Jedi Order in the first place. And now she's out there doing her own thing. She won't be with Lux Bonteri. I have many reasons for this. That will be in the next video. Anyways, this is, yeah, I'll do a little bit more about my part 3 video. This is part 2, so I'm just gonna do a little bit more about discussion of where do you think the ethical character will be and what is wrong. The ultimate thing I don't like about the Clone Wars show is how they take a character that's already been established and crap all over the canon, but breathe no new canon just to sell another toy, and it doesn't really make sense. I can kind of forgive them for giving Ventress and the others a soul, but then, fuck, I don't like this. It's like, no, brain collapsing. God, no. But that's going to be a little bit more of a discussion for another video. Hello, goodbye, this is Sam Waller, and signing out, Alonzi. And if you do like my videos, go and check other YouTube Star Wars fans, like the Versus series from Jedi and Grey Jedi and the others, and also watch Clone Wars Weekly. They do a fantastic job, and they give you the honest truth without sucking George Lucas. No, that's a bit rude. But giving you the honest truth without sucking ass. Alonzo?